I look at it as a collective experience of risk and choices and just the passion and the need to kind of soak in a little bit of everything across all sectors of the aviation industry. So I was fortunate in some ways to have the opportunity to be in environments with airports and private companies, which enabled me the ability to do that, to move over from operations into business development roles and marketing. Even from my beginning with with my flight training out of college. So I'm really passionate about the industry as a whole, and I think it all culminates ultimately to where I am right now in the consultant role, because I have had a little bit of experience in almost every sector of the industry. Well, obviously I'm very excited about the profitability of the airlines in today's world. That's a huge difference from where they've been in the past and from what I've always known being a part of the industry. Even beyond the cyclical nature, airlines are actually extremely profitable. So I'd like to see that continue, but I'd also like to see the partnerships between airports and airlines continue to grow to where airports are in line. I think there's a lot of times that airports and the business of the actual driver of a business within the airport space sometimes is at odds with what airlines are trying to accomplish with consolidation and things like that on the airline side. So I think the future of aviation, I'd like to see as we progress that airports stay within line with what's happening on the airline side, the growth. And we're seeing that. We're seeing signs of that now, that airports are generating more revenue and have the ability to kind of keep up with the growth and innovation on the airline side. In the beginning it was overlooked, but I think we're starting to recognize that now. So I would say, looking at those industry, forecasting a little bit better, I think, and this industry is very difficult to do that, obviously, because there's a lot of external factors that are outside of our control. But I would say, from a forecasting perspective, is to get a little bit better, now that we've settled in to an economic environment that is somewhat predictable. Obviously, we have elections right around the corner, but I think now we're able to forecast, and the volatility in the industry, I think, is a lot less than it was about 4 or 5 years ago. So I would say that I think now we need to dig in, and I think we can provide a good snapshot of what the industry is going to look like in the future. When I was younger, I guess this is probably what got me into the aviation industry, as a whole. I mean, I've always been intrigued with the concept of flight. I mean, I think that pretty much everybody in the industry has that passion and that amazement and around the actual concept of flight. So I was so intrigued with that concept when I was a little chap. I had a Superman outfit that I wore to Halloween, and ended up becoming my daily outfit for a while there. And I thought if I believed enough and I was passionate enough about it, I could actually fly. So I ended up jumping off of our roof head first, and the only bone I've ever broken in my body is my collarbone, because obviously I didn't fly. So that's an interesting thing about myself. And then I guess if I list a couple more, I love music. I used to be in a band, back in the day in my college years, and then I also played sports. I was really heavy into sports in my high school days, and I think that kind of I took a little bit of what I do today, or some of the values, or some of my character came from that time in my life when I played sports, being a team captain, a leader on a team. It really does, I think, translate in how I interact with people and the team that I work with today, the things that I learned there. So.